I can see the light but I can also see the bones again. I don't know what else there is to I'm doing my best not to run away.
Here's a simple
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you believe in something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me, hold on to me. Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay.
And welcome to the NECC. We have week 2 of League of Legends play. Our first match of the night, you're going to see Central Methodist, the Eagles, who are 0-1 after falling to Illinois Wesleyan's second team, going up against the Champlain Beavers, who are 0-0 after getting the bye last week. Match number 2, which should be kicking off at around 8 o'clock tonight, has a familiar team, the Hood Blazers, who we saw not have the greatest luck in week 1. They'll be taking on the Upper Iowa Peacocks, who are 0-1, or 1-0, excuse me. They held the one in the first one against Randolph Malcolm. Should be a good set of games. We are just waiting to get into picks here. bit of a slow start. You know, the players got to eat too. Players got to use the bathroom. All of that. Very excited to be here once again. The NECC's partnered with ESTV Esports Television. It's supposed to be 24-hour around-the-clock esports television. Very exciting stuff. You may be watching us through ESTV right now. If you are, salute to you. ESTV just added Samsung Live, something like that. Some Samsung streaming service is now available. So if you're watching us from Samsung, that's pretty cool. That's brand new. You might be like one of the first users to do that. So little clap for you. But we're just waiting for them to actually get into draft. And they are going to kick it off with the pro draft. We're not spectating that bit. We're going to go in flying blind. But very, very excited nonetheless. And a very exciting day for League of Legends as a whole. We are made it. If you're a fan of professional League of Legends, today is the first day of the World Championship. It's like Christmas. It's like Christmas if you're a League of Legends fan. All you have to do is stay up till 4 a.m. The games will be happening in Shanghai, I believe. That could be wrong, but the time zones are very, very different. So games are going to run from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. For the first couple of days, that play-in stage. So that is very exciting. Let me know in chat who you are cheering for, if you're cheering for a team at the World Championship. Let me just pull up chat on my second window here. Alrighty. But yeah, very, very exciting time, as I said, to be a League of Legends fan. This is just the greatest time of year. But that doesn't mean we can't have some great collegiate League of Legends as well. You know, this is the appetizer. Maybe that main course later tonight. If you've got the energy to stay up till 4 a.m. to watch some great League of Legends being played. I believe TL will be playing tonight. That's what's up. Or Liquid, whichever NA team that didn't make it right to groups will be playing tonight, I believe. But yeah, let me know in chat who you're cheering for at the World Championship. Very excited to hear. Personally, I'm a FlyQuest kind of guy. Trying to save the planet and all that jazz. I think the initiatives they do are super cool. Also, just love the players. Used to be a big Unicorns of Love fan back in the day. We got Power of Evil. We got Ignar. So much fun to watch. I think this is NA's year. Guys, I think this is the year. At a minimum, I think this is Europe's year. G2 got to the finals last year. But that's back-to-back years we've had a European team in the finals. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like it is. G2 made it. FPX was too much last year. This is the year. A Western team is going to get it done. I believe. I will not be putting any money on that. I don't have enough money to spare, but as I said, we've got some very, very exciting stuff happening right here, Collegiate League of Legends. So, I guess the big updates here is that Samira will not be able to play it, and Yone will not be able to play it either. So those two champions are what we're looking at for ineligibility. I do believe whatever is banned at Worlds will be banned here, which means we're going to keep playing on patch 10.19. I've got the notes open just to relay them if we need them throughout. We talked about them briefly last week. The big ones to me, Azir buff, Caitlyn buff, Lucian buff, or nerf, excuse me. All those nerf, TF nerf, and the Senna nerf. Sivir with the buff, Silas with the buff is big in my opinion, and the Ivern buff actually feels really good. Ivern's a champion that doesn't crack pro play or competitive play a whole heck of a lot, but as a very heavy utility jungler, I mean really the premier utility, if you want to use that word, jungler in the game, the buffs make Ivern feel so much more relevant in combat. The CC is longer on the Q, and the shielding is better for frontliners. I think there's some kind of HP scaling. Very, very intriguing to see if Ivern can make any kind of noise. We are going to pan over to chat. Flacco's message just sent twice. NA's here. Yeah, C9, no C9. That's an RIP. That's an RIP with the no C9. But I think it's going to be NA's year. It's got to be. But yeah, like I said, ahead of us, we have Central Methodist, the Eagles, 0-1, going up against the Champlain Beavers, 0-0. I mean, talk about a classic battle. I mean, natural enemies for all of eternity. Beavers? Eagles? Are you kidding me? It doesn't get bigger than this. Tell me. More iconic rivalry than Beavers and Eagles. You can't name one. It doesn't exist. For eternity, These two have fought for dominance in the Wild Dominion, and tonight we get to see which one is the true victor. I'm very excited here in week 2 just to see how stories unfold. That's one of the many joys of collegiate esports, sports, any kind of competition to me that has a week-by-week format. When we look to our game later tonight with the Hood Blazers going up against the Peacocks, Hood had an ugly loss in the first one, right? Newberry really gave it to them. What can they do to bounce back? Because you know if they come back with a win, that shows so much fortitude. And it shows that they really put the work in outside of our, I was going to say off the riff, but outside of the stream time, outside of the premier game time. They put in the work if they can get this win. Very excited to see that. We're seeing Central Methodist for the first time. We're seeing Champlain for the first time. How will they get their season going? I mean, for Champlain, this is your opener. 0-0. You're fortunate to get the bye last week. Maybe scout out your opponents, get a little bit of a knowledge advantage, but what are you going to do? First time out, it's the time to make statements. Last week we talked about first impressions and how important they were. Champlain still has yet to make that first impression. Tonight is the night. As for Central Methodist, the Eagles 0-1 coming off a loss to Illinois Wesleyan, second team. You got to rally. You have to be able to rally. What can you do in the face of adversity? And just seeing these stories unfold over the course of the season is what I'm very excited for. It looks like we do have all the players in the lobby. No way of knowing if the pro draft is done, but it looks like it is because we are right into picks and bans. If you're just joining us, we have the Eagles from Central Methodist. We've got the Beavers from Champlain, and we've got Biger in the bands. That will be the first one to go on the right-hand side. Playing for the red team will be the Eagles on the left-hand side. The blue side will be the Beavers. Second ban is Morgana, so the mages must go. And I'm seeing a bit of a purple color theme emerging with the bans here. Thresh will break that. 2 supports being banned out by the Eagles as Diana will be taken off the board. Interesting Diana ban. That must be a very comfort champion for somebody on the CMU squad. We do see that Hecarim taken away was very powerful in every game appeared last week, and right off the bat, Riven locked in by Big Thighs, and a Zillion Jax coming out. So we are assuming LCS order here. Of course, you are allowed to lane swap and do all these other things, but for the time being, we have to assume this is a Zillion top going into the Riven. Yumi being locked in as the mid laner. There is something happening here. I don't know if they're swapping or if we have the most ridiculous, tuned up on steroids, what is it called? Funneling composition you've ever seen. That's what I want to see. I very much doubt that is what we will see, but it seemed like we're going to see some lane swaps here. I'm going to put a little bit of water down the hatches. Syndra is banned out with the Ezreal. I would love to see someone who can engage here to get on both sides of the team. We do see the Zach come through. There's an Ashe, can't engage with the alt arrow, so ask and you shall receive. Getting both there, just waiting on the support picks here. Would not be mad to see some kind of shielding champion. Allow that Ashe to live long in the back line. Let Riven and Rek'Sai take care of the heat. Maybe a Nami. Karma is a pick that's out there as well if you really want to go interesting with it. Of course, Janna, phenomenal, still on the table. The only one who's really gone is Morgana, and Karma will be picked up here. Last pick for J-Dog, or Geog, that's an I, not a D, and it will be Lucian. So what do we make of this composition here? It's got to be Jax top, Lucian ADC, Yumi support, and Zach jungle. That's the only thing that makes a lick of sense to me here. Like we said, you do have to present an LCS order. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to lane swap. It's just unusual to see what we assume is going to be every single player lane swapping. So we will see if that comes to fruition, if all the lane swaps happen. If they don't, my initial look throughs at these teams, we're going to start on the right-hand side with the red team, CMU, Fly Eagles Fly. Assuming that Zillion's going to go mid, I really like this composition. Jax top scales so well late game. Yumi scales so well into the late game. Yumi on Jax will be a problem. My only question mark is this Lucian. You've built this whole scaling late game composition, and right in the middle of it, you have a champion that falls off at 20 minutes. I mean, Lucian is just so infamous for falling off, and maybe the thought process is, you know what? We have other people that scale into the late game. We can take a risk. We can take a champion that can manage the early game for us. And that is one school of thought. However, in my mind, I'm a full sends only kind of guy, right? If I am going to build this whole late game composition, if I'm going to layer it carefully, put all the ingredients on my pizza that is a composition, I want them all to synergize. You know? Zach, Yumi, Jack, Zillion all play towards that late game kind of goal. I mean, Zillion's ult just gets better and better as the game goes on, as those death timers tick up and up and up. All those ingredients work well there. That's the sausage, pepperoni, green pepper, onion. And Lucian's just like, he's like pineapple on that pizza. And don't get me wrong, I love pineapple on pizza. I love Lucian as a champion. It just doesn't go well together. So we will see how the pineapple of this team does shine through, if it shines through. And I think that'll be a key to CMU getting the win here, righting their wrongs, and getting their first win of the season. We're going to kick it over to the other side, take a look at the Beavers from Champlain. Ribbon in the top lane, Rek'Sai in the jungle, Orianna mid lane, Ash Karma in the bot side. I like this a lot. There's a lot this team can do. I think that as much as it looks like they're in a team fight with the Orianna coming through Ash, I think their pick potential is absolutely massive if they want to use it. Talk about the mobility Rek'Sai brings to the table, the ultimate, just the ability to find one person and take them out. The same thing can be done with Orianna. If you know you're guaranteed a pick, there's no reason not to shockwave. If you can just whoop, whoop, get that kill, easy. 5v4 across the map. You are adding a value to the team. Riven has so much potential in the 1v1 situation, so much outplay potential, and I think a lot of the fate of this team is going to rest in the top lane with Big Thighs here for the Beavers from Champlain. If Big Thighs can't manage the load there in the top side, this Jax is just going to run away with it. Ash can get phenomenal picks provided you hit the ulti. Karma has a lot of lockdown on a single character, right? A lot of potential for picks. And that's what you need. So I actually really like this matchup. It feels like a lot of skills going to have to go into this regardless of who you're cheering for. If you're CMU, you have to avoid getting picked. You have to say, you know what? The only way we lose this game is if we lose this game early. Let's stay vigilant, not die early on, and just snowball our advantage. But if you're the Beavers, you said, hey, we pick well. Let's play to our strengths. Let's get some momentum of our own. Let's get some early objectives. Because you know what? If you get the Dragon Soul, it's an estimated 1,000 gold per character, give or take, depending on the dragon as well. Some variables change. You know, some dragons are better on characters than others. But if you get that Dragon Soul, you can contend with just about every single late game team. I don't care what the composition is. You are in that game, or at least you have a chance to win that game. It's looking like a close one across the board. I really enjoyed the picks and ban stages. We're loading in the game. Now is your last opportunity if you don't want to miss the magic, if you don't want to miss the action. Go get the drink. Go get something to eat. I got some water right here. You know, gotta lubricate the lungs up. Keep the vocal cords fresh. I've loaded the game personally. Once we've hit 5 seconds, we will pause. Just for a little competitive integrity, for a little bit of making sure that I'm on sync with the director here. And we are going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. We are in here on the red side. We have CMU. The Eagles coming out. We'll see what Central Methodist can do in their second game of the NECC season. And opposing them on the blue side will be the Beavers hailing from Champlain. We've got game 1 and match 1 of the night. And it looks like we might be in for a little bit of a rumpus in the river. CMU is definitely looking for that early action. Surprising, considering you do have the Yumi not doing a whole lot level 1, especially going up against the Karma level 1. Karma does get that ulti available at every single level. So right away, they're just going to hold in the river. Not quite a 5-point coming out on the other side, but the Beavers are spreading the table here. Not much will happen. No vision gained. nothing lost. So it looks like we're going to head into the game just on even footing. It looks like that lane swap we were talking about is currently happening. So that Zillion will be heading mid. That Jax will be heading top. The Zach will be heading into the jungle. Does have Smite. First look across the board with runes and masteries. Everything is seeming pretty standard here. One thing to note here is on the Zillion, we do have Glacial Augment. Not always taken, but is probably the most common choice. Keep your eyes on that Zillion. If you want to know how these team fights are going to go, it's going to be a lot on what Ori can do to manage movement, right? Once you get the slowing abilities that trigger that Glacial Augment, you can really start doing a lot. In addition to the E's, we get a stun out right away there. Kata putting in a little bit of work on that Jax in the top lane. We're going to see bottom push in just a little bit. As I said, weird pairing here in the bot lane, in my opinion. We've seen it a lot, but it's just not what I would go for. Philosophically in League here, I want the synergy. I don't want to pair a weak late game ADC with a strong late game support, but we will see. Provided this Yumi gets late game, provided this Jax gets to the late game, the Eagles are going to be very, very happy with their odds. Ori drops a bomb. They're going to get a little bit of damage. These two mid laners, they're both essentially control mages. The Zillion's a little hard to define, in my opinion. Their burst potential isn't massive. Orianna does get some solid burst potential post 6. Zillion, if you do hit the double bombs and you have a decent amount of items once you get a rod item under your belt potentially, but until then, not doing a whole ton. You see a gank here, level 1, Wairuki going in, Kata looking like it's going to be an early death. Oh my goodness, the flash is going to miss. First blood being handed over to Big Thighs in the top lane. That went well for the Beavers, and that's what they have to do. They're playing the composition that falls off sooner. You got to get some picks, and that's exactly what we talked about, right? We're going to see what Big Thighs in the top lane and going mid as well. Nearly gets the kill onto Ori. Zillion got to be very, very careful there. Very, very careful indeed. Some activity from Wairoki here early on in the jungle. On that Rek'Sai, moving. Absolutely moving in the jungle. They're picking up this Scuttle Crab in the river. They're pinging. They're going to start an invade here. The jungle move, phenomenal to start the game. They might even try to find something here in the bot lane. Not sure why Ruki's looking. Going in, stone will be land. Big Thighs putting in a little bit of work there. Kata drops down some damage on the crackback. Not too much happening. Garrett Marison going in. Not able to get too much. Going to miss the Q there. Ash putting out a little bit of damage. There is logic. Big farm lane in the bot lane so far, and this is not what you want to see if you're piloting the Draven. Being down CS early on, playing an early game champion, it's going to be tough to dig out of this hole. We'll see what they're able to do. The game is young. You know, nothing's set in stone, especially League of Legends. There's so many variables that come in. There's build paths. How do you upgrade your abilities? Where's your jungler going to gank? Where are you roaming to? There's so much going on in the game. So we'll see how it unfolds. For the time being, can't be too happy with yourself if you are a fan of CMU here coming in. Oh, the bait! The classic recall bait. Got him with the day one strategy. Big Thighs putting in big work in the top lane. Oh my goodness. 2 kills to none. The gold lead is going up. Big Thighs waiting on that teleport, trying to serve dominance. Kata, you're only level 3. Not quite high enough. Action in the bot lane. Logic has to flash away. The Zac is in. Not going to quite find the damage. Tick, tick. Oh, they will get the finish onto the Zac. Will be able to get the kill. Rek'Sai collapsing down. Geog putting in some damage. Shield applied. Geog gonna go down. Zac respawns her. Flashes through. Smashes them together. Do they have enough? It doesn't look like it. Zac going down. Mitzi not there in time for the save. Wairoki going in. Mitzi can do absolutely nothing. Autos Garrett once, but it's not enough. Woo! A lot of kills straight there. Shockwave in the mid lane. Ori doing some damage. This is what we're talking about. Neither of these two have a whole ton of burst damage at their disposal early on. Really, as the game even goes late, one-on-one they will, just because neither of those champions will have much resistance. But man, tough start. If you are coming out on the side of the Eagles, the Beavers looking very, very strong right now. They're up more than 2K gold. They are up 4 kills, not up a dragon, however. No neutral objectives have been taken off the table. Trying to bait Ori into walking out to get this ward. It's not going to happen, and we cut back to the top lane. Big Thighs up 2 kills to none. Gonna crack this turret plate, get a little bit more gold. Kata has just looked a little bit hopeless, a little bit helpless in the top lane so far in this one. Oh, Zach coming through. Big elastic slingshot. Flash even bigger. Pyro Griffin able to get out of a sticky situation with the press of one button. Getting it done. Yumi rejoining Geog in the bot lane there. Wow. Look at this in top lane. Big Thighs just playing with Kata. Going in. Drops down the first of the 3. Knockouts Conquerors will proc there. Scoops back in. Kata just trying to hold their own. Down 2 levels. Down a lot of items right now. Corrupting Pot is popped. You're going to see Big Thighs go all in here. Ooh, did pop the Corrupting Pot, but decides to leave it alone. My mistake, not a Corrupting Pot, just a refill potion, not a signifier of damage. Flash down, there's the all-DY Roki trying to get it done. Is going to have to run away. Dragon nearly finishes off Scrumpy there. Ash coming through. Logic picks it up, just a shot in the back. Logic going to take a lot of damage here. Geog finds themselves in the 2v3 situation. Down they go, and nowhere to run for the Ari Mitzi. Going to find themselves 6 feet deep, looking like a free dragon for the Beavers right now. Champlain looking very, very strong across the board, just ceding 1 kill in that bot lane scuffle. But they'll pick up the dragon. They're continuing to win every lane across the board. They're up 5K gold. They have been so dominant here. Beavers looking good. Double bomb coming through, not going to do a whole ton of damage. Pyro drops down a little bit of damage in return, tossing the orb. Whew. Quite a quick start. I mean, we're talking about 9 kills in 8 minutes. A one-sided start as well for the Beavers. Playing very strong. And if you are the side of CMU, if you are the Beavers, it's tough to not put your mind on the game 2 when you're down like this. But we'll see if they can stay focused and make a bit of a competition out of the first one. Do you see Zach clearing the bottom side of the jungle as the Beavers bot side does run to lane? Zach picking up. I just wonder if they're going to try to gank somewhere. I mean, Scrumpy has had a few good engages, just has not found the damage to follow through and reap the rewards that those kills. So we'll see if that finally does start to come through. If Scrumpy doesn't give up on the lanes, because that's big. Capped OW in chat. This is indeed a best of 3. So we've got a lot of action coming your way regardless if this one ends a little bit early. So it looked like it might. The Beavers out ahead, and they're out by a lot. Big Thighs still just kind of toying with Kata in the top lane, playing around this. Herald Wairoki caught out. Double bomb coming through. Scrumpy going low. Wairoki 1v2 potential. Drops the ulti. Resurrect coming through. Good ult from the Zillion, but it's probably not going to be enough. Shockwave. There it is. Scrumpy in a whole world of trouble. Big Thighs comes through to clean up yet another kill. 3-0-0. Oh my gosh! The Ash Arrow from across the map! Sniper! Get down! Woo! Big Thighs cleans up another one. Oh my goodness. Somebody gotta check Logic Mia for the aimbot. That was absolutely insane. Their lead only continues to grow. Wow. Double bomb coming through. We do have a game pause. We do have a game pause right now at 29. Ooh, we're at 10:05. Sorry, the game pause for 30 minutes. So we're gonna see what happens here with the game pause. Why it happened? Looks like a support DC from Garrett Meyerson. So we should be getting into, should be getting back into the game here in just a moment. And it is back right away at the 10:09 mark. Absolutely insane. Ash ulti coming from the bot lane. Logic Mia. Whew. Whew. That's all I have to say about that. Great stuff so far coming out from the Beavers. We'll see if they can keep it up in this best of 3. A little bit of damage trade. Geog going in. There's the final chapter. Both ultis drop. Geog flashing over, trying to find the kill. They will find the kill to Logic, turning around onto Garrett Meyerson now. Shields the self for a little bit of damage reduction and the speed boost. Tower is picked up on the top lane. That will be the first tower of the game, scooped up on the top side. Big Thighs continuing to have such a big impact on this one. Geog pushing in. It's actually pretty big here for CMU. They're finding a little bit of value in the bot lane. They were very much struggling early on. They're going to actually claim a plate there, so Geog going to walk away with 80 gold, as will the support Mitzi. We'll see if that makes any noticeable impact in this lane matchup. You know, you really have to affect who you can affect before affecting the game as a whole. So if that caused them to start winning some 1v1, some 2v2s, as we saw there, this moment, don't forget this moment. If Geog can somehow get their team back into this game, they're going to back for the time being, go on a little spending spree with what they just earned. Ooh, gotta be careful. Big Thighs just looking so massive. Has the Essence Reaver, has Ninja Tabi. Working on the next item. Already does have the Kindle Gem. Tough time for Kata in the top lane. We will see if they can make it to late game. We talk about the scaling as there will be a gank here. Scrumpy coming through. Shockwave not going to be enough. Tower won't finish it off, but Ori will. Picking up a kill. You kind of feel momentum shifting just a little bit here. CMU has picked up 2 straight kills across the map. They weren't up there thinking about pushing it, but they're picking up. They have no idea where the jungle is. They don't have good vision on support. They do now. They're going to end up just pushing one mid, and Zach's coming for this gank to the bot lane. Will this yield even more momentum? Garrett Meyerson going in, going very low. Pops the ulti there. Lucian ult. That's a lot of damage. E coming through. Scrumpy. Oh, connects it. Can they pick up Logic? Scrumpy going very low. Ulti put in the back. It's not going to matter. Had the passive available. They will pick up 1 kill. Garrett Meyerson, you got to be very careful. Don't get too close to the skill, but here comes Big Thighs. Teleport to the backside. Geog left all alone with the Yuumi. Jack's teleport coming through, not the wisest decision. Yuumi's going to take the last bus out of town. Big teleport bot lane by Big Thighs. Oh, I love the tower dive here. Big teleport bot side there. Just having the wherewithal to realize that you can be effective. The fact that there was a ward there. Really set up by the team behind the line. Got in. Big Thighs able to put in a little bit of work. Double bomb coming through there. They can't really do much to contest this dragon, though. And by do much, I mean there's really nothing at all that can be done. Kata just going to hold the bot side with Ori. Clear waves for the duration. It's all said and done. Now, however, 2 drags down, 8 kills down. Scrumpy trying to find something. Gonna back out very wisely. Knows that the whole team's drawn, and here comes Big Thighs. We do have a second pause. As Big Thighs chasing down Scrumpy there. So we did see during the second block of gameplay, I guess, broken up by pauses now. Hopefully everything gets sorted out here in just a bit. We have seen a bit of a momentum shift here, a little bit. You can feel something in the winds. You can smell it. It's very subtle, but you can smell it. CMU is starting to come back into this game. They're doing the small things right. They have to lean on Geog because we know Lucian kind of caps out in the mid game, early mid game, and then Lucian's all done for the game. So if they can get some value out of Geog here, salvage something that can get them closer to the late game, they have a shot to win this game. CMU is essentially buying time right now. As we are back into the game, Big Thighs going to give up pursuit. Scrumpy is going to escape. Kata just clearing some waves in the bot side of the map, staring down this Ashe. Ping's coming through. A little bit of action on the top side, but more importantly, this Karma coming back into the bot side. Kata can't stick around for too long. Same level as the dual laners there. Not exactly what you want to see from the top laner. You see Big Thighs already level 10 in comparison. Just a great start. Be very careful with Kata. You don't want to give over another kill. Already 0-3-0 right now, just farming up. I'm gonna walk right in the trap. There's the Ashe ulti coming through. Garrett Meyerson lays down the CC. That's gonna be enough. Logic Mia picking up another kill at 3-3-7. Double bombs will connect. Doesn't have anything else to follow up with it though. Great play there, and the bot lane coming through. Logic Mia and Garrett Meyerson. Some great teamwork and a lot of patience. Sitting in that bush for a while, holding the ultimate for a while. I mean, when you hit those ash ults across the map at will, it's got to be tough to hang on to them that long. So you see some action developing in the top lane here. Geog got to run away. Big Thighs Scrumpy here trying to find a pick on the Pyro. Will throw them together. Back to the top side. Yumi also coming through. Final chapter. Will get the root. That should be a kill. And it will be in the top lane, but a turret is destroyed as well on the bot side. Ash pushing with Garrett Meyerson. They're also sieging that mid tower, so across the map, getting some value. Scrumpy coming through. They're trying to find another kill. Double bombs. There it is. Big Thighs coming in. The second bomb will get the kill. Can they find the shutdown gold on the Big Thighs? It looks like they will be able to. Tick, tick, boom on the ignite coming through. That feels significant here. Meyerson gotta run, look for the ward to slam them together. It's not gonna matter. They don't find a ward, but they will find them. This mid tower, excuse me. They're gonna get some gold from this and some great play across the map. And even better to do something with it, right? All too often you'll see teams get some kills, get a little bit back into a game, but they don't do anything with the opportunity. And chat, Von Quinn, that's true. They're not closing the gold gap, but in my opinion, just because they scale so well late game outside that Lucian, which is kind of the talk of champ select. Buying time is the name of the game, in my opinion. So you got to keep buying time, got to give yourself a shot to get back into this game. If you can get that Jax big, if you can get some of these other members big. I mean, Yumi is just such a force to reckon of late game, and you don't even realize it until you look at the advanced statistics. Like, oh, they won that game because Yumi got so big. They just got to continue to buy time. And they're definitely playing much better right now than they were in the early portion of the game. There's a lot more teamwork going on. You see those Zac elastic slingshots coming through. With all that being said, they've had to work so hard in the last couple minutes for this game not to be over by the 16-minute mark. So it's definitely still looking pretty dire for them, but they do have an out, and that out is to make this game last as absolutely long as possible. So to get there, Kata will just be farming up the bot lane. Rift Herald is up, being pinged here by the Lucian. Will back, taking Yumi with them. Big Thighs looking for a kill in the bot lane. It's absolutely gonna... He's gonna find it. Wow! Big Thighs showing us something on that Riven. Woo! Absolutely taking what they want right now. Scrumpy gonna clear a little bit of vision. It's a 5v4 for the time being, which means it should be a free Rift Herald, especially with Scrumpy on the bot side of the map, and they know it, having just cleared the ward. So it looks like another neutral objective will be headed the way of the Champlain Beavers, as they are going to just clear mid lane. Here are the Eagles doing anything they can to draw this one out. Next Dragon is up in 35 seconds. You can't contest this, really. If you're coming on the side of CMU, it's very, very tough. Your options are to try to get a pick, putting you in a 5v4 situation, which you can contest, or just say, you know what, Scrumpy? We'll sacrifice you to prolong this game. They are going to drop the Rift Herald mid, draw a little potential away, but if Scrumpy dies, it's all for naught. They try to go in here. They might be able to find a kill the Big Thighs. Final chapter. That's a massive pick, and here's a second. They've got 2 kills. Scrumpy going to stay alive. Big zoomies coming through. Logic, me, and Wairoki trying to get some position on the backside of the pit. Scrumpy pushing the backside. Oh! He's going to have the passive proc. Here comes Wairoki. Big shockwave. Look at the combo. Mitzi going to go down. Scrumpy, all that's left, trying to get out of the pit, will not be allowed. Chasing the Jax away now as well. Ryoki will be able to get this Dragon somewhat uncontested. Another neutral handed over to the Beavers. CMU had a really solid engage. They got the picks they wanted, 2 of them in fact, and they just couldn't pull that Dragon out, and they end up losing it to a great engage from the backside of the Dragon pit. Champlain still looking like they're in the driver's seat of this one, as the gold lead still looking very, very massive, and obviously being up this number of kills, 8 kills, doesn't hurt. The big thing is 3-0 Dragon lead. We are now on Soul Point. This is what we said at the beginning of the game, right? You get Soul Point, you win the, or you get Soul, excuse me, you win the game. As the team that's scaling inferior, you need to get it. It looks like this isn't a game where they absolutely need it, but hurt to have. You know, just see how strong you get. We are looking at an Earth Soul for this game, making everyone a little bit tankier. You're going to feel that especially on Logic and Pyro. But, I mean, just making Big Thighs bigger to kill as well in addition. All these things really do add up, and it just becomes harder and harder for CMU to climb the cliff here and come back from this one. Geog just clearing a little bit. There's pinging. There's going to be some action in the jungle here, potentially. I think they spotted them out, though. We did see some Mia pings. Garrett Myerson moving with Wairoki here. Logic Mia, and they are going to converge on Lucian here on the top side. Ori going to get a double bomb here. This could be a kill and a big pick to start the fight if they can find it. But Jackson in the backline is going to go down before anything else can happen. Garrett gets out. There's the Zillion ulti coming through the Chrono ship. Channeling, trying to hop out. Will get the elastic slingshot to go. Uses the blast cone. And they only end up losing one. So not the fight they were looking for. But at the end of the day, not an awful result. But right on to Baron now. This is a very decisive call coming through. The Beavers trying to end the game right here, right now, and it looks like there's going to be no response. Lucian, the only hope, and they don't even know that Baron's being taken right under their noses. And so Baron will be handed over to the Beavers. Dire, dire times if you are a fan of the Eagles. If you are an Eagle right now, CMU has to pull something out of their bag of tricks if they want to have a shot in this one. It is not looking like they have much time left on the Rift in game number 1. Ooh, bombs coming through. They're just trying to clear this mid lane a little bit. I'm absolutely not being held hostage. Oh, chat, you're too funny. You're too funny. Ori fighting here, Kata backing off. They're trying to find some action here in the mid lane. They're just not going to get it going. I mean, if you are the Eagles, you got to avoid fighting here. You got to buy as much time as possible. And honestly, knowing what that looks like is very, very tough to know. Getting picks is probably the only solution. But who do you even target? I mean, usually you'd say, let's turn to the support. Let's try to find the support. They're usually playing the least dynamic champion in the game, I would say. But Mitzi's playing Yuumi. Yuumi will never not be attached at the hip. So it's very, very tough. You're never going to find a good opportunity to find anyone who's quote-unquote weak, because everyone's looking so strong. Wairoki not going to find anything there. They're just trying to clear the waves. It's going to be tougher and tougher with this Baron buff. Tower will fall down. This next dragon is up in 1 minute. 1 minute. Soul point is being sat on right now. If you are, if you are Champlain, the Beavers looking to close out game number 1 of this best of 3 series. 23 minutes have elapsed. Geog just clearing waves here, doing all that they can do. Oh, coming through. Oriana Ball not going to do anything further. Looks like every ulti is available right now, so big fight incoming one way or another to end the game or to save the game. Dragon is up in half a minute. Wairoki trying to find a pick here. Kata will escape with their life there. Now looking towards that dragon pit. They're going to have first priority, and they'll probably have last priority on it. Given how things are going to ward it up, they will scoop up the vision in front of it with the Scuttle Crab very, very easily. Dragon up in 5 seconds, and it looks like it'll just be handed over by the Eagles. Not much they could have done in the first place. That will be the Drag Soul, and it will be a near insurmountable lead. Shockwave coming through. Big Thighs, they're not going to be able to find the pick they want, but that would have just been a little bit of frosting on top of the cake. I mean, they've already got everything else they really could want. Geog holding, Wairoki dropping a little bit of damage. Top wave and bot wave also starting to push into the base right now. It's going to start stacking up. Baron buff is still active, I believe. No, it's not. Just the Dragon Soul. I mean, still a massive buff. So much harder to kill with that massive shield just swinging around everybody. They're trying to clear this ward. Wairoki will evade the double bombs, will do it just fine, but take a little bit of unnecessary damage. Ultimately, not going to matter. Got the shield. It's going to be healed up in no time. Still just trying to find an opening here. Feeling out the defense. Trying to find a way to breach the base. Steal the jungle right now. Kata scanning. Warding. Turning around, they are just going to back off. Big Thighs taking some more of that jungle, working towards that third complete item in addition to the boots. Gotta love to see the lethality ribbon, as chat is pointing out. Just the ribbon in general, not something that you always have the treat of seeing. So always great to see someone bust it out, especially in collegiate play here. 25 minutes and some change into this one, a commanding lead being held by the Champlain Beavers. They came out, they hit early, they hit often, and all they're looking for is that last knockout punch to end this game. They've claimed the Drag Soul. They have taken every non-inhibitor tower. They're very, very close. They just got to decide where and when they want to strike, and they should be able to end this game. Cryptic picking up a blue buff here in their side of the jungle. Logic Mia clearing out some waves here. They're taking it slow and steady. They know they have the mastery. They know they have the drag. So I mean, they're up 11k gold right now. But they're still taking it slow. They're being very patient. I think you have to admire that to some degree. Garrett rotating to the top side, excuse me, Wairoki and Logic Mia. They're going to start pushing this in, which will demand an immediate response. Bombs coming through from the Zillion. Ori not going to find a double bomb or enough damage to really ward them off, but they do clear the wave, which is just about as important. We do see a bit of a 1v1 on the bot side. Big Thighs just eating tower shots like they're nothing. Really going for Kata, and Kata's to no chance. Ooh. Big Thighs get it done on the tower. Shockwave is just going to catch Ori. Not going to suffer the consequences there. Double bomb not going to connect. Big Thighs continuing to push in the bot side. Here comes the response. 3 rotating in. Double bomb. They're not going to find anything there on the Big Thighs. And subsequently, top side will be pushed in. Every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You send 3 bot, we are going to send 3 top. And they will get the inhibitor for it. The whole base is being sieged. There are minions left, right, and center. Ooh, the Beavers trying to cap off an impressive game number 1 in this best 2 out of 3. Slow being dropped by Roki. Not going to be able to move fast, but it doesn't really matter. They have no damage to follow up on. Big Thighs trying to go in. Some slows being dropped from the Zillion. This inhibitor will fall. Elastic slingshot, and they're making their move right now. They're on to Big Thighs. Resurrect here. The Zac will be back up following the Zillion ulti, but goes right back down. Does have passive available. Minions being cleared. It looks like the fight's continuing on the top side. Wairoki does pick up the kill on the Zac. Ash ulti will come through. Big Thighs so low in the backline. We'll probably just have to back out here. The flash coming in. Wairoki trying to finish this game with a little bit of blood, and will do so. Picking up that kill there onto the second Nexus tower. This one's gonna fall relatively quickly. Ryoki going very low and will go down there. But Big Thighs back on the attack. Full health, all kitted out on the Nexus. Hopping in, wants yet another kill. Won't get it, but that will be the conclusion of game number 1. The Beavers taking it home. We see the GG's in chat. Big Thighs. Big Thighs. We see the thigh diff in chat. Hey, if I've ever seen a thigh diff, that was it. Beautiful game coming out from Champlain. I'm going to take a quick sip of this water. Beautifully executed there. They knew that they didn't have the better late game comp. What'd they do? They stopped the early game. Big Thigh was absolutely massive. You had to just admire Wairoki's play. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. That seems phonetically how to do it. Wairoki. Wairoki's movement in the jungle was absolutely amazing. You talk about the early gank to get Big Thighs going, and then nearly found a kill in the mid lane as well. Moving down the list, Logic Mia. Bah! That snipe. Oh my goodness. Talk about a heartbreaker. In basketball, and oftentimes they say that 2 points isn't just 2 points. It's about the momentum. One kill isn't always one kill. The momentum of that kill hitting that Ash arrow across the map had to feel so good. Massive hit on that Ash ulti coming through. Whew. As we will see the lobby start to fill up. We are in lobby. They will be doing pro draft, which we unfortunately do not spectate. So you're gonna be stuck just looking right here. Yeah, right here. Just for a little bit though, and then I promise we'll be into game number 2 in our best 2 out of 3. About an hour has gone by. In about an hour, you will be seeing our second feature match of the night. The Hood Blazers going up against the Upper Iowa Peacocks, 0-1 and 1-0 respectively. We're trying to see if the Blazers can bounce back after being taken out by Newberry with an absolutely dominant showing last week. We are here in week number 2, trying to get started with game number 2. But yeah, Big Thighs was absolutely massive there. Took care of Kata in the top lane, extended that dominance to the rest of the map, and that was really all she wrote for the remainder of that. Chat, who was our MVP of game number 1? If you to whittle it down to one player on this very talented team, who are you taking between the Beavers? It's tough for me, but you probably got to go Big Thighs. Wairoki's in the running. As we said, we talked about just how much right both players did, but and Big Thighs was such a difference maker in the top lane, coming out on a champion that's mechanically hard to play right off with the aggression. Absolutely knew what they were going to do, how they were going to execute. Went out and did it. It doesn't get much more simple than that. Brought the pail, lunch pail, brought the drink, did some work. They put in the hours in the top lane, the nitty gritty, and they got it done. You see the results. Obviously very worth it. The Thighs, Zumi's MVP. Yeah, I think Big Thighs has got to be unanimous MVP for the first game of this best 2 out of 3 series. Great play on the Riven. As we said, not a champion you see a whole ton of in general, especially in collegiate play. I personally closed in on probably 100 hours of Collegiate League of Legends being broadcast. I think it's probably one of the second or third RE I have ever seen in Collegiate League of Legends. So super cool to see that brought out. They just reached right in that bag and see what they found. Lobby getting set up here once again for game number 2. As soon as we get into actual champ select, you will get an actual champ select here on screen. Yeah, until then, I guess we can talk about what CMU can do better to improve from that game number 1. You know, obviously that's not what they're looking for out of game number 2. And what they can really do, I think it starts in picks and bans. As I said, their team, in my opinion, I know a lot of people do like running the Lucian Yuumi. I just think that the philosophy is so different between the 2 champions that I want a champion, I want an ADC that can scale in late game if I'm picking the Yuumi. I'm full sent, but that really wasn't their problem. It was just surviving into the late game. So maybe pick a composition that's a little harder to execute, but puts a little more focus on dynamic gameplay, ganking, and the early game. Maybe get a little bit done here in the mid game. I wouldn't be upset if they ran the Lucian pick back. Just change the rest of the team around. In fact, I think you could run that bot lane back. I wouldn't run it with the Jax. I think the Zac was overall pretty effective at creating some plays across the map. They just never quite had the damage to follow through on that, which brings me to the mid lane. Give me a Syndra. Give me someone who can really dish out the damage. That's what I am looking for right now. On the same token, though, you could go with someone like a Zoe. Has a lot of single shot damage. Can burst down a singular target very quickly. With the Zac, you've got a killer 2v2 if you're trying to get some picks. So there's a lot of options to toy with. I think ultimately they should steer away from how they played last game, how they started the picks and bans from last game. Give me something that can win in the mid game. Give me a little something that's more geared to securing the bag earlier on, rather than saying, you know what, hands off the keyboard. We hope we're gonna get to the late game. We just hope that's the game plan. It obviously didn't work in game number 1. I don't anticipate it working in game number 2. And speaking of picks and bans, how does this affect what they pick and ban? I mean, it's obvious that Big Thighs was just absolutely monstrous. I mean monstrous on that Riven in the top lane. So I think that is an auto ban. You get the Riven out of there. There's no champ that really plays like Riven. So you make them show you something new in the top lane. And honestly, I think top lane was the biggest issue. If you banned 3 top laners, A, huge sign of respect coming out to Big Thighs. B, I don't think it puts you in that bad of a situation. I think you can play around other things. So interested to see what they do come out with. I believe they should be in the pro draft right now. As I said, we don't have access to that at the time being, so you're stuck with me right here. Very interested to see. As I said, I think they should ban out some top laners. Big Thighs was the reason you lost that game. Make no mistake about it. Game 2, we're taking Wairoki and Pyro to speed run to the finish line. Okay, speed running. Very reminiscent of the Newberry game that we saw last week. I'm interested to see if CMU has some fight within them. This is where you really find out what is this team made of. You know, it's not easy losing bad. Let me tell you, as someone who's lost bad a lot of times in their life across a lot of different sports, esports mediums, losing big sucks. Because at the end of the day, you can't be like, man, we were this close. If only I would have done this. If only we would have selected this champion. So losing big is tough, but bouncing back from that is such a good testament to character. We've got Gridix in chat saying, clean your room, you feel at the end. All right. I'm a college student. That's a basket of clean clothes. All right. Let's take back the hearsay a little. The slander. No, it does need cleaning. You know what? You just gave me an idea what I'm doing this weekend. Playing League, cleaning the old bedroom. But yeah, we're going to find out what CMU is made of. One way or another, we're going to find out if they're up to the task of not only competing with this strong Beaver team, but also competing after a game where you lost so poorly in such a decisive manner. So we will see, once again, NECC is partnered with ESTV, as you're going to see. Is that over here? That should be to this side. You'll see it pop up. Yeah, it is right. So we got it right that time. Streams our games to a lot of different platforms. Super cool. As of today, you can get it on some Samsung services. Super cool stuff. Just super cool to see esports growing in this space, in this time. Obviously, COVID is a national tragedy, and just to see that people are still trying to do good, still trying to grow an industry during that period of time, really just gives me so much hope for what's going to happen for esports after. There's so much going on, and just esports in general, right? There's so much content being produced. I mean, you're sitting here right now watching collegiate esports like they're collegiate sports, so it's just such a cool space. It's only getting bigger. I really appreciate everyone being here with us tonight. We're going to have game 2 here shortly. Let's just make sure I was in the spectator slot there in the lobby. Oh yeah, game 2 should be coming here shortly between those Champlain Beavers who are up 1-0 against the CMU Eagles. We're getting some. Is that real in chat? Looks like someone mispicked in pro draft, excuse me. Once 1 second's finished, we'll be in here. As I said, CMU trailing by a game. If you're just joining us, ugly start for them. I mean, beautiful start if you are cheering for the Beavers. The Beavers came out in game number 1 and took care of business. They played to their compositional strengths. They got it done. They worked as a team. Big Thighs, our game 1 MVP. Played absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing League of Legends. The mechanics were just so tight. So tight. It just worked out so well. Diving towers. A little bit of BM. A little bit of VM. Waiting on the teleports, dropping the emotes. But it's all in good fun. We're going to see what comes out in the top lane for game number 2. But we have hit our picks and bans. So let's send it back on over to that screen. Calling my room gross. Yeah, I live here. It happens. As we are heading in, we will see the Vigar ban for a second straight game. Rek'Sai ban. Hecarim will get out of there. So CMU will put a little bit of respect onto the jungle position. but they leave the ribbon on the table. So here is a chance for Big Thighs to lock in the same champion in the top lane. Lucian will be taken off the table. CMU looks like they're going to start off with an Ornn. Very, very solid pick. You know, it's kind of been the year of Ornn, the year of set, year of new champions in the top lane. So we will see Camille and Trundle selected from the other side. So I'm going to expect this Camille to be sent to the top lane here. So we're going to see Big Thighs on something new, something equally mechanically challenging here. Maybe not equally, but still in the upper echelon, in my opinion, of mechanically challenging. Syndra locked in, something that I said I wanted to see out of CMU's comp, so very good there. We will see our second round of bans coming through right now. There goes the Diana off of the board. Waiting on the rest of them. I like both these teams, or just one or the other, to select an ADC with a little bit of mobility right here. Orianna, Trundle, Camille, there's a lot of way to set up plays. There's not a lot to peel for your ADC right now. If you do engage, as we will see the Caliban taken off the board. And Ezreal, a Tristana, I think those are both great picks. Zillion will be taken off the table as well. Some things we saw in the last game. So the scouting report says get that Zillion out of the mid lane. Game 2 is upon us. Very, very excited. Shout out to everyone in chat, as it looks like chat has become the Big Thigh fan club. Oh, man. We will see Big Thighs on the Camille this game. Orianna there. Ashe is selected. There's the Brandon. There is the Ezreal. So we talked about, I said I like either team to scoop it up, given that it felt like there was a lack of appeal. There it is. Ezreal, Yuumi, the missile silo, as I like to call that bot lane combo. They can do so much from such a range. It's just hard to interact with. Takes a lot of interaction out of the bot lane. The lane with the most interaction. You know, we got 2 players on each team, slaying spells. There's a lot happening, but Ezreal and Yuumi have the ability to just step back out of fights, zoomies to heal up. They have so much escape, so much mobility. Very tough to deal with. On the other side, we just have this damaging. So much damage coming through. The Ashe and the Brand. Wow. There's a lot of damage coming through and a lot of ability to set up fights. Ashe ulti, as we saw, Logic and Mia was absolutely on point hitting those last time. Brand can also set up fights, but it's a little bit tougher. Brand probably has some of the least reliable CC out of supports. I mean, Zillion's up there. Any support requiring you to hit 2 spells, combo them together, is just going to have an inferior rate of connecting on that CC. As we are just in the spectator delay for competitive integrity here. Gonna break down the teams a little bit more. We're gonna start with CMU side. The Eagles, they really need a win if they want to send this one to game number 3. Kicking off in the top lane with the Ornn. And Ornn is a pick that I absolutely love from the bottom of my heart. Kata on the Ornn. Especially we saw how dominant Big Thighs was last game. Ornn allows you to sit back a little bit. You can take some punishment with that grass bleeding dying. You really just gotta get that 1 auto off. Steal a little bit of health, and you are absolutely chilling out. The more important thing is Ornn is so strong in the late game, not because Ornn themselves is strong, the ornaments they can place on teammates, right? So once you start upgrading these items, there comes a point in the late game where it doesn't become who's playing better, who picked the better late game composition. It becomes, well, my items are just statistically better than yours. They provide me more stats. They're worth more gold. There's nothing that you can do. So just the minute numbers in the late game. We'll see if that does come into play, because obviously last game we didn't even hit the late game. Dominant performance by the Beavers, moving it down. Scrumpy on the Zac, a pick that I said I'd like to see run back, and here it is. Scrumpy played well, in my opinion, and that's where I'm looking. Scrumpy is my playmaker. I wouldn't be surprised if Scrumpy was calling shots. Obviously, we're not on the comms. We have no idea. Scrumpy was making it happen with that elastic slingshot, getting in there, getting knockups, drawing them together, had a lot of sick plays, just could never find the damage from the rest of the team to follow it up, and that's where this mid lane pick comes in. Ori scooping up the Syndra, has a massive amount of burst, can also create their own plays, right? Syndra can also just create plays on their own, so we will see if that comes through. I'm very excited to see Ori on this pick. Zillion feels like it has a little bit too much nuance to just be thrown into any composition. Cinder feels a lot better here, a lot more damage, does have the CC, less utility, but I think it's going to be better in the long run. Ezreal, Yumi in the bot lane, we've been talking about this pairing a little bit. The missile silo, just going to be chucking out warheads left and right. Very hard to track down. I like this pick a lot as well. Overall, the composition feels pretty safe. It feels pretty safe. I like the picking from CMU. They definitely put a lot more thought into this composition than last game's composition. Quickly, we're going to toss it over to the Beavers, see what Champlain is cooking with, starting the top lane with the big thighs on Camille. Looking good. I mean, I like this pick a lot. We saw the dynamic playmaking with the Riven. I said there wasn't a champ that really plays like Riven. Camille brings that damage. Camille brings the dueling ability. Camille brings the mobility. I like this pick a lot. Trundle, able to take these tanks down a peg. So I like that option a lot. You're going up against a Zac. You're going up against the Orin. You can steal the stats with the ulti. You can really put some tanks into the paper shredder. Just get them up out of there. Excited to see if that comes through for them. As we're loading into the game now in the mid lane. We do have the Orianna run back from Pyro Cryptic. Pyro's making plays last game. I mean, there's nothing else to it, right? Much like a point guard in basketball, you're not going to take the ball out of your best player's hand if they're on fire. Kept the ball in Pyro's hand by letting Pyro once again take Orianna. I've loaded into the game. Once again, we're just going to do a quick pause at 5 seconds. Competitive integrity, making sure the broadcast is right on time for you people at home. I am now paused at 5 seconds. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Let it rumble. Game number 2 in this best 2 out of 3 on the left-hand side of the screen, playing for the blue team. We've got CMU. The Eagles are trailing 1-0 to this red team on the right-hand side. The Beavers hailing from Champlain. They are trying to finish off a sweep in our first matchup of the night. And I'm gonna check chat quick because I've got pinged a few times. I see a whoa. Hit one true whoa. Peer pressure. By the end of this game, I'll hit you with a whoa. Or we're talking about like a whoa or a Ric Flair like a woo. Because I'm just versatile. You know what can I say? There's a range of sounds that I can make as we are in the game here. I will be keeping my eye on chat. A real whoa. All right, by the end of the game, we will get a whoa. Hopefully generated from this exciting gameplay. Game number 2, CMU, little bar, going up against the Beavers, hailing from Champlain. Champlain keeps slipping my brain. Just can't quite remember that one. Both teams going to take a pretty passive approach here to start the game. Red buff will be started from Scrumpy and CMU. Bot side also started by Wairoki. And the rest of the Beavers gonna expect both these junglers to pass bots to top. We did see both of them gank early on. We'll see if that continues. I'd like to see Scrumpy be a little bit more aggressive. We do see Big Thighs just trading here. Not afraid to trade in the top lane. So dominant last game. Continues here. The Q is going to miss. Going in. Big Thighs laying down damage. In addition, Kata going to take some wave damage there. So the dominance already starting in the top lane and across the map as Geog is forced off of the wave there. Garrett going to take a little bit of damage on the crackback. Big Thighs going in. Kata tosses out the Q. Still stays low. Gotta be careful. Big Thighs still has flash available. We know Big Thighs is not scared of flashing and playing aggressive. Can take a little bit of wave damage here. Big Thighs going to drop a smart ward there. Another smart ward would have been over the wall into the elbow there. Considering that Elastic Slingshot has such a long range. Big Thighs put down a little bit of damage here. But actually, good job by Kata. Landing most of that W. Getting a decent amount of damage. Couldn't get the auto to trigger the extra damage of the Brittle. Ultimately wasn't enough there. Pyro trading in the mid lane there. We just look at the CS difference across the board. I mean, it's very early, but we are still relatively close across the board right now. Our biggest gap is looking like 4 in the jungle, 3 in the mid lane, 2 in the top lane now. We're all not up in the bot lane right now. We're going to send it right back to the mid lane. Ball being tossed out. Cryptic just trying to take this farm before the tower, does so. Just clearing out these waves. I wouldn't expect either team in the solo lanes to really go in aggressively. The Cinder will have some damage. Ori will have priority, in my opinion, to really get something going here on that Syndra. In top lane, I'm not expecting a whole ton of aggression, but Big Thighs has proved me wrong once in the past. And same in the bot lane, honestly, just with how mobile that Ezreal missile silo composition is. They're going to be able to evade a lot of the damage. I don't think we're going to be seeing very many kills early unless they come at the hands of a gank. Scrumpy does have a last slingshot. It's a great tool. And Masa, they are a little bit pushed up right now. So we'll see if Geog requesting it, some kind of ping comes through. Zach is backing right now. We do see some pinging happening. Trundle potentially looking to set up a gank here. Mia ping into the bush saying, hey, is there vision here? Do you know? Bot lane unsure. Zach will ping and is going for a gank here. So keep your eyes on the bot side of the map. They're on the map. Scrumpy will be heading in for a bit of a bot side gank. We'll see if they play right into it, pushing in. Here comes the gank mid lane. Wairoki coming through. Wow. Beautifully played there, displacing both the ganker and the lane assignment. A little bit of action in the mid lane. Nothing's going to happen there. Still looking bot side. They're going to be able to spot the Zac out though on the ward. We're going to see if they're able to react in time to this elastic slingshot coming through. Still staying pretty far up as it looks on the map. Not fearing the gank at all. Everyone in the bot side is level 4 right now. Zach Scrumpy is under leveled by 1 level. First dragon is up, so both teams just kind of dancing around bot side, dancing around mid, dancing around this first dragon objective. No moves being made yet. Big Thighs does get brittled on. Oh, and there's the knockup coming through. Going to take a tower shot, but holding up much better than top lane. Kata playing this matchup very, very well. Makes you think, why did Big Thighs not run it back with the Riven? Riven was not banned, I believe, unless there was a wrong champion selected and they meant to ban Riven and they worked it out in chat, but when we saw Riven wasn't banned, a little bit of action going on here. Garrett laying down damage. Logic putting some arrows in the back as well. Geog will escape with Cat in tow, allowing them to just free farm a little bit more. Their farm lead is growing, closing in on being 10 CS up 9 right now. Kadate, Big Thighs coming in. You don't really want to fight in wave, however, especially with how well this Ornn is being piloted by Kata right now. Kata is going to back at level 6. Scoop up some items. Does already have that Bomby Cinder, which is absolutely massive. Zach coming back to the bot side, trying to find some action here. Scrumpy, what do you think? Is now the time? Mia pings, has been spotted out. Garrett going to be able to clear the ward here. Elastic slingshot coming through. Not going to hit any of it. Scrumpy going to take a lot of damage on the crackback pillar coming through. Wairoki will just use it to clear the ward. Bites the ward. And it looks like they're going to try a 2-man drag here. Keeping Ash bot very smart. Keep the pressure applied. Syndra collapsing. We'll see if they have a play. I mean, Zach's still on the backside of the pit. You have to think of Elastic Slingshot's range here. You can definitely steal from a multitude of angles. You just need to get the vision. Scrumpy has no vision. They're not going to be able to get on top of this. 900 HP left onto the dragon. Going in. Ulti being popped. Pyro. Big ulti coming through. Ash on the backside. First blood will fall. Cinder does pick it up, but will die on the back end. Scrumpy gonna go down, popping the passive. Geog trying to play a little bit of defense. There's the teleport coming through. Big plays from the top side. Kata atoning for the mistakes of last game. Wairoki does pick up Scrumpy. It looks like it's gonna be not quite a 3v3. The teleport didn't even come through. Geog running. Mitzi falling off. There's nothing a house cat can do. Going down, they pick up the dragon and they pick up 4 kills there. Wow. Getting it done despite looking a little bit shaky there, despite the coordination with the teleport coming through. The teleport must have been canceled on top side, right? We obviously don't have that information given just how auto spectator works, but teleport coming through and then ended up canceled. So Orin must have been CC'd or displaced or something. Great play there, scooping up the dragon, getting the kills in the back end, despite losing first blood, right? That fight started as a 5v4 situation. Knockup coming through. Big Thighs trying to continue fighting here. Over the wall, elastic slingshot, they're going to find it. Big Thighs may go down here. A lot of damage coming through. Smite is dropped. Big Thighs goes down. Kata picks up the kill. Kata having a much stronger performance on the Ornn compared to the Jax last game. Garrett coming through. Does get the first proc there. Just has to hit the Q for the stun. Will do so. Comboed with the arrow. These two are not just on the same page. They're on the same word on the book. Mitzi gonna take a little bit of damage. Pillar to boot. They will not dive at this point in time, but if you're Mitzi, you really do have to back. Wow. Garrett Meyerson just chasing down the enemy, dropping the CC, getting the arrow to follow up. I'm not sure if Logic Mia can miss one of those. But on the top side of the map, they will trade some plates in this tower for the Rift Herald. So all in all, both teams can't be too upset about that one. Now knotted up one apiece on these neutral objectives. A Dragon versus a Rift Herald. We're going to see if they use this Rift Herald top. How they hold on to it. It's always the big question in my mind. You know, there's an ideal health at which you should Rift Herald the tower. And it's when there's 2.5 plates remaining, because Rift Herald will be able to just take it. Most gold efficient. But what lane? As we already see the Ornhorn coming through, Kata playing aggressive. As I said, trying to atone for last game. Scrumpy still in the vicinity, not going to be able to land that skill, or that elastic slingshot right there. Whew. Much different feel to this game than the last one. CMU very much in the thick of this one. They are trailing, no doubt, but they're much more in it than they were last game at this point. Big Thighs starting to clear top. We did see Kata back, walking back to lane now, was not able to do that first full item. Blue buff will be awarded to Pyro Cryptic there. Going to be able to run. Oh no. Ori with no vision. Just running in, trying to find something. Zach coming through, trying to save Ori, but it's not going to be enough. Does get the ulti before dying off, but it's not going to matter. Big Thighs responding. Scrumpy, nowhere to go. No place to hide. Will end up dying. 7 kills to 2. Brand trying to find something here. Garrett Meyerson playing a little bit cheeky, trying to find some damage over the wall. Not going to matter. Geog placing down a little bit as well. The Zoomies going to provide some big heals, but still getting half health. And just going to pop the ulti. It may be enough. One more bounce. Geog, tick, tick. Oh, the Arcane Comet won't get it done. Garrett, thirsty for blood. Last chapter. Ashalt not going to find its target, but Garrett will. Mitzi. Ooh, Mitzi, you can't mess around right here. Doesn't really have many damaging abilities. Only one. And the Zoomies is the only other combat relevant one. Will go down as well. So Mitzi, feeling a little spurned, turns around and will die. Garrett, 4-0-3 right now. Woo! What a start for Garrett. This brand support has come through in a number of ways. Here's the tower dive. Big Thighs going in. Will get the brittle charges. Will not get the chance to activate them though. Kata backing a little early here. Just got back to lane. You gotta think that this is going to hurt. Decides to turn it around. Drops the Q. Not gonna follow it up with the E for the knockup. Just trying to stay alive on the tower. There's a knockup. Drops the brittle. A lot of damage. One more tower shot. Not gonna quite do it, but Kata played that very, very well. Warded off Big Thighs. Able to get some more farm. Closing in on that Sunfire case. Horn coming through. Big Thighs got a little bit greedy. The flash. Oh, the counter flash. Not going to be able to find it. Big Thighs going to escape with just a little bit of health. Turning around. Nonetheless, as we've been saying all game long, Kata has definitely played much better. And this is what I was talking about. How do you respond to getting beat? And getting beat fully, you know, across the board. It wasn't very close. Kata has definitely responded the way you want your team to respond. And that is what can be said right now. E coming through. Scrumpy's playing a little bit too aggressive. Ash Arrow will find its target. procs the passive, stands almost no chance. Oh my goodness, and for their efforts, Ori will die as well. Big thighs, pops the ulti. Great use of the teleport and the new speed boost, but not going to be able to find the kill onto the Orin. Kata lives for the moment being. Big thighs, very aggressive play. That's what you like to see. Very reminiscent of the effort last game. Ooh, Geog, you gotta be very, very careful standing there. There is a team of 4. They are bloodthirsty. They are suited and booted. They have so many items built comparatively. Teleport coming through to the top lane. Kata just gonna clear that wave out. Trading with Big Thighs very, very well this game. As we said, we'll find the knock up there to the wall. Big Thighs fighting. There's the brittle charges. Kata winning this trade for the time being. Just got to be careful. I mean, Big Thighs has no ult. That Ornhorn will be up sooner. It does look like. Look at the right-hand side of your screen, the left-hand side of your screen, just counting those ult timers. So may have a window of opportunity when the Ornhorn is up to go in and to get a kill onto Big Thighs. But just standing on the tower for the time being. Kata, content, looks like building some items. Does have that fully completed Sunfire Cape now. 1420, excuse me. Mia pings in the mid lane, coming out from the Beavers. But they do find the Syndra eventually. No neutral objective on the map for another 52 seconds is the next Herald will spawn. And another 3 full minutes for our Wind Drag to get onto the table. 2 drag lead right now for the Beavers coming over the wall, going to find a Kata there. Oh, does get the knockup with the Ornhorn. Kata, unstoppable, brittle. Here comes the Zac, elastic slingshot, pops the ulti. Scrumpy picks up a kill. Next on to Wairoki. Wairoki may have bit off a little more than they get you. Kata trying to turn, not the move, doesn't find any damage with the W. Scrumpy now running, gonna have to get a miracle elastic slingshot off here, won't get it to go, does go down, and look at the bullying happening in the bot lane as well. They are proxy farming champions just about. Standing so far behind theirs, they're going to find Ori here. Finds themselves in a 2v1 situation, does get some damage out, drops the ulti, will be able to trade kills in the 2v1, so impressive getting some value there, but man, the team is just down by so much after that play. Really felt like they trickled into that fight. They just needed to get out and cut their losses. Well, as I said, Ori does find a kill onto the back and getting a little bit bigger, starting to do a decent amount of damage. And Wairoki will be starting in on the second Rift Herald of the game. Unnoticed here. Kata going in. Oh, overshot the elastic slingshot. That one has got to hurt. We're going to see a full-fledged team fight, it looks like, over this Rift Herald. Ulti is popped by the brand. So much damage coming through. Garrett Myerson, the difference maker. Luba trying to throw some hands there. Nearly puts up a kill of their own. Elastic slingshots out of there. Their only chance to steal this objective now would be a miracle mystical shot. Or true shot barrage, excuse me. It's not going to come through. It's not even off cooldown right now. Big Thighs pushing in the bot lane, scooping up some more gold across the map. Something this team has shown they are very good at doing. Ori coming through, not going to land the damage. Big Thighs will hit an ability in return. As we are going to see a fully fledged lane swap here. And oh no. 4-man tower dive, top lane. Popping blast cone, getting over the wall. Want to close off all windows of escape. Just gonna let the tower take care of the Rift Herald. Ulti's coming through. That will be a kill picked up. Mitzi gotta run. Not going to be able to find any salvage there. They will get the tower. They do get both kills. It's a 5v3 across the map. Ash Arrow coming through. Another hit. Oh my goodness. Pyro following up. They're not going to find any more CC, but Pyro, like shooting fish in a barrel with a rocket launcher. There are fish guns everywhere. Just cannot miss with these Ash Arrows. Ornhorn coming through, just using to clear the way. Scrumpy trying to find an angle to get in, but you don't want to use your E to jump right on top of a buzzsaw. Whoo! Pushing in mid lane here. Garrett Myerson has so much damage across the game. Has played really just a phenomenal game. We'll get the CC off. So much damage. Scrumpy tick tick boom. Myerson picks it up off the dot damage. Just absolutely burninating the countryside right now. Whew. This brand play has been phenomenal. The Ash play has been phenomenal. Just across the board, the Beavers are looking so good. And remember, this is their NECC debut. They did draw the bye last week. We talked about how important first impressions were last week. Well, here are the Beavers giving it their best, putting on for Champlain, doing it in a big, big way. Next Dragon will be up in 5 minutes after scooping up that wind drag. It is Wind Soul. Soul point here for the Beavers. They have just done everything right. The big things, the little things. There's not going to be much fault to be found when they watch back this VOD review. Kata spotted out a ward. They're just going to clear out the waves. It seems like just about nothing can go right from this point in time. You look at the gold differential, 12K gold diff. I mean, you look at the top scoreboard, tells really the story of this whole game. Utter domination from the Beavers. It looked a little close early on, but at this point, approaching on 20 minutes now, looks pretty similar to last game. Garrett Meyerson doing a lot more than last game. I mean, that's the big difference for me, is you have another damage dealer. And usually you'd say, well, my support doesn't have the, or my ADC doesn't have the peel that they're looking for now. It doesn't matter when no one can even get close to your ADC just from the sheer damage. Garrett Meyerson, cheeky play here, will pop the ulti. Shutdown gold, though. Could be transferred over to the Yuumi as they pick up Pyro. Garrett caught out. They maybe bit off a little more than they could chew here. Heal. Meyerson gets brought together. Shutdown gold. This could be the fight they wanted. Ori coming over. Final chapter. Wairoki, the last one alive with the Ash. Logic going down quickly here, though. Oh, but not before they take down Geog. Teleport coming through. Kata. He's over. Horn. The smite will be enough to pick up the kill. Turning around on the big thighs. Kata flashing. Stumpy in tow. Here comes Ori to the back line. 2v2 situation. They may just have the damage to scoop this one up. The Eagles trying to find their first team fight win of not just the game, but the whole match. Oh, Ori, a lot of damage. The Yuumi will escape with, and when it's all said and done, when the dust clears, not a bad fight for the Eagles. Trying to stall time and get back into this game. Sloppy positioning, in my opinion, from Pyro and Garrett. They were playing a little bit cheeky. They were playing with this massive lead. And, you know, they really split up more than you. Ori turning around. Good microplay, but the Raptors. Let's Zoomies coming through. Ori still escaping with their life, 21-8. And Baron will be gone in upon. They have no vision, I believe, so they're taking it right under their noses. Zach not even in position to respond. Very reminiscent of the Baron call from last game. And Barrett is 1 minute young right now. True shot barrage coming through. That's not it, Chief. Zach getting in position. You need an absolutely massive elastic slingshot, one you're just not going to be able to find. On the back end, you're not even winning the fight in the 4v1 situation. Coming through, there's another Ash ulti. As I said, fish in a barrel with a rocket launcher. Whoa! Look at the accuracy on those arrows. Logic Mia does not miss. I don't know who's drawing the Beavers next week, but you had better be scared of these ultimate abilities. Garrett Meyerson going low, backing off. Wairoki, here is the push. They're able to hold for the time being, but this game is getting grim. It is getting dark. Another turret falls. Scrumpy trying to be 1v1 with Pyro. Oh, there's the shockwave coming through. The minions there to provide a little bit of damage. Big Thighs didn't have quite the same impact this game, but still has a bag on their head worth 150 gold. They're sieging the mid lane now. They've refocused their attention, dropping the wards, just starving out the Eagles from resources. Kata going in. Big Thighs maybe in trouble here. Horn coming through. Oh, good flash to get out of that sticky situation. Refocusing now are the Eagles. Ori taking out a ward. Geog and Kata trying to find something useful to do on the map. But really the only thing you can do, clear out waves, get vision of your own jungle. Because very soon, if not right now, if it weren't for the fact that all the Beavers had recalled, it's not safe to step in your own jungle. Just the amount by which you're down the fact that you're about to be down Dragsoul in 20 seconds, which is something that I would hope Scrumpy is aware of. Scrumpy has to try to put the team on the back. Scrumpy's got to go for a steal here. Ooh, they're going to find Scrumpy here. This is probably a pick. Another arrow lands. Oh my goodness. Scrumpy, tick, tick, boom. Garrett Myerson picks up yet another with the dot damage. 7, 1, and 8 right now. An absolute explosive amount of damage from the support. Garrett Myerson going to zone. Maybe just steal that red buff for himself. Hey, you know what? The support gets undervalued. Let me get some nice for myself as Dragsoul is picked up. Those ultimate abilities will be coming off cooldown a lot quicker. More importantly, you will be receiving the speed boost when you buff. Important on some, not all. I tell you what, it's going to feel very good on that Trundle. Wairoki is going to appreciate that so much. Logic taking care of wards here. As we said, just starving resources from the jungle, applying those stacks of blaze. Elastic slings are coming through. Oh my gosh, Big Dice under tower, finding a kill. Looking for a little more, potentially. We'll just get out there. Ooh, does connect the punch. Big Thigh still under tower. Wairoki will get a kill there. Zach is no more. Drops the ulti. Big Thigh's fighting under Nexus Tower. Going to get yet another kill. Ori has fallen. Myerson sidesteps the E there. Unstoppable. Doesn't even matter. The Orin falls down. Double kill. The Beavers, it looks like they are going to finish off a 2-0 sweep here. Logic hitting the towers. They've absolutely locked them inside their own fountain. I didn't see if that Ash Arrow connected, but based on how the game has gone, I'm sure it did. I don't know how to dance, but Logic Mia can take the lead. Oh my gosh. Game number 2, just about in the books. They're out for blood before it ends though. Zach, passive, will proc, Nexuses will fall, and the Beavers will take this series 2-0. Woo! You gotta love that ending. The Beavers wanted it, man. They wanted it. Those Beavers put on for Champlain last week. If you were fortunate enough to not be here with us, which, I mean, come on, get right on your calendar, do something. I mean, there's League of Legends being played. It's exciting stuff. The NEC's popping off. We talked about first impressions, how a lot of people say you can determine how a season will go based on a team's first performance. How they go out will determine how they end, how they do throughout the season. The Beavers sat at home last week. They didn't have a chance to make an impression upon us. But in their first game of NECC play, these Champlain Beavers put on an absolute show. Looking absolutely phenomenal. On the other side, CMU, it's back to the drawing board. Tough playing up against an opponent that big. And going to 0-2 is definitely tough. We've talked about time and time again. You know, it's that cheesy Rocky quote, right? It's not about how hard you get hit. Not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep getting back up. What can the Eagles do next week to get back up? What can they find in this VOD review that will really be able to help them out? Our next game is starting in 20 minutes here, so I think we're actually going to take a quick break aside. I'm going to reach out quick, and I'm going to respond before we do that, because you guys are absolutely getting Ethan hit the whoa. Hey, did someone clip it? Did y'all clip the whoa? Because if you didn't clip it, I mean, what are you even do? What are you even doing here, huh? We got to clip the whoa. The woo! We need it. We need it. That's the rallying cry, all right? So if everything is good on the end of my director, I think we're going to take a quick step aside, but do not go anywhere unless it's to the fridge to grab some more refreshments, because we've got the Hood Blazers, who are 0-1, going up against the 1-0 Upper Iowa Peacocks. Stay tuned, guys.